Hello! Tonight I'm gonna share with you why planning never works when you really want to enjoy life. I don't know about you, but I have a tendency to start planning and to think that is the solution to my problems. I remember a couple of years back, or actually it's a pretty long way back, when I had a long-term relationship ended. And I felt quite miserable, and I thought the solution would be to give it all at work. If not loved at work, at home, at least I would be loved at work. So I gave it all, I put in long hours, and I really took on a lot of work. Made me feel better. But coming home was still lonely in this empty house. So I also made sure that I had a lot of things to do. And I started to plan my life to the minute. Even planning to do grocery shopping, to go to the gym. It felt like every minute of my life was fully planned. The truth is, I actually started planning all my activities because I was afraid to see what else was happening in my life. I didn't want to face my problems. And planning everything, but not planning any time off or having any moments where things go wrong or where you just don't have to do a thing, doesn't work in the long time. You can see your life and your energy like a rubber band. It can have tension, it can have things to do, but if it has things to do all the time, and you can see my fingers going broader and broader, in the end, when the pressure gets too much, it will snap. What you rather do is you also make sure for downtime, so it has time to actually get his natural strength back, and then we'll be able to go into those crazy hectic periods. So what happened with me is I didn't plan downtime. I had way too much planned and it snapped. My body told me I have been under pressure too long. There has to be some downtime. And because I had ignored all the signals for such a long time, I got in a very bad situation of burnout. After I re-energized after my burnout, I still thought planning was a good idea. Until I actually discovered that my tendency to planning wasn't so much really what gave me pleasure, but it was something that I taught myself because it was very important in the environment I used to work. I used to be an international consultant working on big projects with different time zones, so there always was a need to plan. And I can plan very well because I taught myself very well, but my natural tendency is not to plan. And that's what I would like you to discover for yourself if you do not already know so. What's your preference? What is your natural tendency? Is it to plan everything, or are you more like me and would you like to go with the flow more? One of the things to help you answer that question is to look back and to see how you used to study for your exams. I used to be a person who made this beautiful scheme of planning and when did I need to plan which chapter of my book so that I would make it all in time. And then when the exam started, I would still have to work through more than half of my book because I found so much distraction, and I would more often than not just have to study at night. And I always made it, but I needed a firm deadline to get into action. And telling and promising to do things up front never worked for me. My best friend, on the other hand, she worked with a schedule and she actually managed to take days off just before the exam of studying and just to unwind, because she was so capable of planning and sticking to a plan. She's also one of the few people I know who really thrive on having a plan and who likes a structure more than anything. But she's also the one person who plans in downtime and doing nothing. There are a lot of other people I see in my surrounding who ask for planning, where actually it's not so much the plan they really like as it is to like to be in control. Because planning can give you a false sense of being in control. If you plan everything ahead, you feel like you are on top of things. And the real question you then need to ask, is it the planning you need, or is it that you need more self-confidence to trust yourself, to let go, and to see what might happen by letting go? So, am I now telling you that you shouldn't plan at all and you should just, whatever may come your way, may happen? Well, I'm pretty sure that whoever has children or knows people with children knows that that's not gonna work for everybody in life. Or whoever needed to catch the plane also knows there are certain things you need to plan in life. And what my recommendation would be for you is to start planning those necessities. So if you have children or if you work with children, you need to start planning the general things children need. Or you need to start planning the things you really need. Like, I don't plan a lot, but what I plan every week is the times I go for a run. Because in my experience, if I don't plan those running events, and I do it 3 times a week, if I don't plan them in my diary, if I don't mark them, if I don't give myself a reminder, hey, you promised yourself you would go for a run tomorrow, something always comes up and always wins. Because I, like most likely yourself, struggle to prioritize myself. And if there's a work-related thing that pops up, and there's always a work-related thing that pops up, then that will win. So that is why I've started to plan my workouts every week in my calendar. And it's actually funny because I already know which days it is. There is no need to plan anymore because I already scheduled that downtime, because running is downtime for me. In my head, I already know, hey, my appointments I make after that. Now, the reason why I share this all with you is because I've been away for a week. I've been to Ibiza, amazing trip just by myself to reflect on where I am at life, what I want to achieve, and what it is I stand for. And I found that I am very, very happy with my Embrace Life program. And the thing is, I really want to help people to enjoy life and their work more. That is what truly I would love to do. And the reason why I started Amaze Yourself is because freedom is crucial to me. And it is freedom that made me quit my job and start helping people like yourself to make yourself a priority so you can start enjoying life more. But what I've done in the past period to tell you more about my Embrace Life program is I've pinpointed most of my attention to a problem which most of my clients have. And that is a lack of time to really enjoy life. All that I shared with you is some of the things I really do and which I've tried and tested and really work for me. But lately I have found that there is a lot of attention towards time management. Nothing wrong with time management, but if you ask me what I like to do most and what I like to do best, it isn't time management. It isn't for a lot of people telling you how to structure your life, but it is more about how you actually can feel and trust your feelings about what works for you, and how, based on what works for you, can you start to live your life to really, really enjoy it. That's what I love to do. And it might be not so much different from what I have done in the past, but it is for me. Because the angle is more about being free and going with the flow and really going for what works for you than it is about time management, planning and structure. So I will be sharing more tips on how you can start trusting that little voice in your head that you tend to push away when you just listen to what your your conscious is telling you, what your, not your heart but your mind is telling you. And I want you more to listen to what your gut is telling you. Now I see that some people are watching, so I'm gonna take a sip of my water and I'm gonna ask you whether you have any specific questions or whether you have any thoughts you would like to share with me, because I would love to hear from you. Okay, I'm just checking. No, I don't see any specific questions right now. Right, so just to summarize what I've shared with you tonight. I believe that if you truly want to enjoy your life, first of all, you need to ask yourself whether you are a person who likes structure and planning or whether you prefer to go with the flow. That's the first tip I want to share. If you're a bit like me and you like to go with the flow, I think that means that you have more really, following your energy, going with downtime, and I think that works best, but that's because of my preference. What I would really recommend you to do is to, once you've discovered what your preference is if you have a preference like me where you like it loose, do plan those things you would otherwise forget about or you would otherwise not prioritize. And those are the things that put you first. So whether it's taking, that lovely long bath, or whether it's taking a nap, or whatever works for you, or working out like I do, make sure that you plan those things that otherwise you would forget. And then finally, if you're a planning person, please try to have some downtime in your planning as well to make sure the rubber band isn't always stretched to the max, but allow yourself to unwind. And if you plan, please also plan for some unplanned events, because otherwise they will actually mess up your whole thinking. Those were the things I wanted to share with you tonight. If you're watching this on another day, please ask any questions you have in the comments underneath this video, and I would love to hear from you. If you struggle with going with your natural flow and you would like some help with that, I've got a special thing for you. I'm now offering WhatsApp coaching for 7 days for only €7. It is a totally tailor-made coaching. Well, there are coaching questions or coaching exercises based on your question. And it's amazing. I've achieved so many great results with my clients already in just 7 days. If this is something you're keen on, send me a private message or send me an email. I will share my email underneath this video. And just let me know what you want to work on, and we can even start tomorrow. €7 for 7 days of WhatsApp coaching, and you will get amazing results. Have a lovely day, and I hope to speak to you soon.